Hello, hello! Welcome to the show. SykoYoda back here with another adventure in Minecraft. And today I am heading back out to that area that WaterBear had set up for something while he was on vacation. As you can see, there's a little bit of a difference there at the entryway. There's some fire going on the outside of it. And something tells me that stuff has been changed here in the end. He said that there was something to do with the portal not linking up. In fact, I know there was something changed now because the portal used to be right here. There was no turn to it, so he was way off course on this, it looks like. Along with that, he said there would be netherrack on fire when I came out of the portal. So that made me immediately concerned that this was a trap, which is why I have this on my bar. I don't think he would personally try to kill me, but you never know. Oh, well, there you go. He did find one. Was working on making a server map and found it's close to me. It is pretty dang close to me. Let's go ahead and pull up the S3 coordinates. Oh wow, yeah. That's actually really close. I could make a direct path to that pretty easily from my place. Dude, that's awesome. Okay, so I was kind of hoping that it was like a mushroom biome, but the fact that we have another one of these is pretty epic. And this is inside of a mountain just like the one that Rain has. Let me see if this can be taken down pretty easily. To me, it looks like it would be doable. Dude, WaterBear, this is great. This is epic. Let's see here. I mean, we could come out here with some TNT and probably take this out really quickly. It's not very big. Okay, keep in mind that whatever I place is going to be stuck here because mining fatigue is real, folks. Mining fatigue is real. It sounds like the neighbors are going to be mowing the lawn here shortly. Sounds like the guys showed up to do the landscaping on the next door, so gonna end up being cut off here fairly quickly, but I like the location of this. I don't know if he's gone into it to grab the sponges or not. I'm gonna ask him, and if he hasn't, I'm gonna go ahead and tell him that he can take them because he did find it. If he wants the sponges, or maybe we can split the sponges if he hasn't taken them out or whatever. I'd like to tackle it myself because the way that he's done it was pretty epic. And oh crap, that was bad. The way he did it and was able to kill all the guys so quickly worked really well. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was on the last server that we kind of played on. It was my single player / LAN that we did with Rain, and towards the end screen WaterBear joined us up, and at the time I was talking about how this game took up too much of my time. Well, it hasn't really changed. It still takes up too much time, but my thought process on what was important has definitely changed, so that's another story entirely. What I'm thinking about doing, because of the way Rain wants to set her base up, I don't know if it's going to work as a... Well, we'll just have to see. I have a plan that I want to use this for, and I will talk to WaterBear to make sure, because he said that he obviously was setting this up for me to use. Ergo, I'm assuming he's going to let me use it for what I wanted to use it for. Since Rain has one, if she can turn that into a trap as well for getting the supplies from those guys, then that means that this one I can use for what I was hoping to use it for, which I think is going to be epic, and hopefully everybody else will be on board with that. I think I have finally come up with something that I quasi-like here. I'm going to do my best to make it happen. I'm really enjoying the thought process of how this is going to work out. So hopefully everything goes well for me. Got a basic understanding of color combinations that I want to use, although I think I'm going to try to incorporate another color of clay on top of this one, but we're going to start with this here and go with it, see how it works for us. Let's see here. Is that how I want to do this other side here? Let's go ahead and take a look. Basically what I'm doing right now is setting up some places to tie up horses. Something that works really well with the orange clay is these right here, the acacia fences. Acacia wood in its orange form is almost identical in color, so I'm going to utilize that for any major build stuff I'm going to do in this line. But like I said, I kind of want to do some other colors, so we'll have to figure that out. But we got some patterns we're going to continue on with. First, let's go ahead and nail out this other side here. Not very often you get to spend some time in the Nether and really not feel like you have to be concerned about security. A lot of the times when you spend time in the Nether, it's for farming purposes, and it's always a matter of, if I make one mistake, then things are going to get drastically bad for me. I like the idea and the thought process of having a safe environment to be in the Nether. I like the idea of incorporating things that potentially could be in the overworld. I've seen quite a few people build things that represent or could represent, is this, see here, yep, could represent something that was in the overworld, or try to mimic the overworld inside of the Nether. And I've always felt that those builds were pretty cool. It's not something I'm necessarily going to be doing. I just think that it ends up making an environment that keeps you feeling safe for whatever reason. And it's interesting that even after all this time playing this game, for some reason I still feel like, you know, there is a potential for danger here in the Nether. The Nether at this point, for most people, is just so easy to deal with. It's very simple and really doesn't cause or create any concern. It's kind of a shame that it's gotten to the point where everybody's just kind of so complacent with it being the way it is, and there's no real issue with whether or not something's going to happen to you, etc. I would like to see it change back to the way it was, where everybody kind of feared it. And I don't know that they actually changed anything. Like, nothing comes to mind that says, oh, this is just so much easier now. That's why, you know, we don't really spend much time in here or whatever. I don't feel that that is the case. Like, to me, it isn't a matter of something, you know, changed that made everything so easy. In fact, one of the things that bothers me the most about the Nether these days, as far as concern for danger and fear, is the implementation of the random lava pockets. Well, I mean, that didn't exist before Dinnerbone. You know, that's a very new concept, really. And so the idea of having something that can harm you is still obviously there, but for some reason we're not getting this really bad feeling of, oh crap, we're going to die in here today. I almost wonder if a lot of that has just come about because you've been playing the game so long, and by you I mean me, you know, where you're so used to it at this point. That's the big deal, is you're not going to have anything happen. So I don't know. Interesting thought process. I do hope that they add more to the game in all aspects of it. Something about this one coming up was going to be, if I remember correctly, the what was it? What was the keywords they said? Something about combat. Combat was the keyword they used. It's going to be the combat update. And the stuff we've been shown is essentially allowing us to have a quiver slot, and also going to be implementing, it looks like, shields. We do have the impression given to us that we're going to be having a new mob boss or increased difficulty of current bosses. The one that has most people... Oops, that's the wrong spot. Most people have come to think is going to happen is a revamp of the dragon, which is a very big reason why we're not going into the Nether, because we are hoping that that is the case. But what if that doesn't happen? What if they don't actually add anything to any of the mob bosses, or they don't add any new ones? I don't know that it's going to cause me any pain in the long run. I'm just curious as to what direction is it taking. I also I feel very much like this has got to be close to the end of the updates. Like, I can't see there being a lot in the future for this game, which it's really upsetting. But that is a fortunate thing for me. And it's a very easy reason why it's a fortunate thing for me, because I have done everything I can to avoid playing modded Minecraft. Part of it is just all the stuff that goes along with it, where I just don't want to spend that much time doing any of this stuff. The other part of that, and more importantly, was the ones that do interest me, like Terraformacraft. I very much think that one is a very awesome idea. Well, if I was to go get lost in that aspect of it, where I could go play that game for hours and have fun doing it and all that good stuff, it's great. But I still have a passion for vanilla Minecraft, and as soon as you start implementing more ideas and concepts to a game that brings more, if you will, content to the game, you're not going to want to go back to play the original part of the game, unless what you're going to go play is crap. And let's face it, Terraformacraft, as far as most people are concerned, that is the bee's knees when it comes to survival, and a lot of people really wished that was how Minecraft was. Like, that's what it actually ended up being. So to me, that means if for some reason this game stops getting updates, and there is never another Minecraft made. There is no Minecraft 2, which people joke about all the time now that Microsoft owns Mojang. What if that never happens? What if Minecraft is all there is, and the next update is the only update we ever get? How is that going to make you feel, personally? To me, it just means I have the other content to go enjoy. Now, some of that stuff's going to disappear right away, because people are going to no longer bother supporting these things. A lot of the stuff has already come to that point where people aren't really creating. These are awesome. So I got a spot here for 4 horses. Aren't creating updates and keeping up to track with the new updates for Minecraft. But you gotta hope that in the end, all of these other mods and modded Minecrafts are at least updated to the 1.8, so that way we can utilize the multi-core threading. That's my hope. That's my concern. I do have to figure out some lighting for the center here, which I will do. More than likely, I'll play around with the same concept of here, using a pumpkin that goes through light shafts in 2 different locations. But I really like the feel of this, and it's just essentially going to continue on with this. So we're going to go out, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, there's 5 in between. So let's go ahead and swap over to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between. And then that means there should be 2 on either. And we'll just follow that straight across to the other side. And same thing, should be 2 on either. Now, the center post is just going to be just that. There's not going to be anything else to it. But we'll bring these up and do the exact same thing that we did with the other ones, where we bring up the sides and create this kind of a support, if you will. Let's go ahead and see what this is. 3, and then it comes up. Okay. So fill that back in. Going to be a lot of refilling, I have a feeling, in this project, because I'm not going to want to leave the gaps, because I don't want Pigman to be spawning in the walls and creating a crap ton of noise. So it will be a fairly lengthy process to get this one complete, but that's alright. Alright, so we got that. Same thing here, it's 3 up, and then pop these out. And that. That's pretty much the idea and concept. And then we'll raise up the roof layer by 1 after those. And we'll give the feeling or impression of a support of some sort. Support of some sort. That sounds just funny to me. I don't know why, but it does. Like that. And we'll figure out if we're going to use other colors and stuff. But I am pretty much out of materials to do this. If I do the whole thing in orange, this is all the orange I have. I do have some standard that I can turn into orange, but why do that when orange is one of the colors that you can actually mine? So I think I'm going to head over there. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and drop off my inventory and get a full stack of netherrack and bring it down to the spawn area. Get that going on some more brick, since we have emptied that over there, bringing on enough to let it run. And I'm obviously going to get tons and tons of material out of this. So I think we'll have more than enough by the time this is over, nether brick, to start figuring out what we want to do with the main island there. Try to get some kind of situation set up for trade post and everything else. Hopefully here in the near future. I know everybody said they'd be willing to work on it. It's just that they said they would need some sort of guidance in relation to what we were doing. And that's fine. We'll figure it out together. I just have a couple of concepts that I want to lay out more than anything else. Nothing too set in stone. So last I heard, Waterbear had brought a haste beacon over here. But being Waterbear, I wouldn't be surprised if it was gone. This is the mesa biome that he found. We're trying to keep it basically as it sits. And, what the heck? Okay then. We're trying to keep it basically as it sits and not disturb any of the way it actually looks. It does connect to some other islands. There is some sand and stuff, which I intend on grabbing some of that at some point. And since there is an island over there that is separated, I'll probably do it on that type of thing. But it's not the prettiest of mesa biomes. It's kind of hodgepodged and very random, and not in a good way, I would say. There is, however, one saving grace to that, and that is this section over here. It does look pretty nice. So we're trying to keep it that way and not go into it. Unfortunately, the way that the biomes work, the system is such that, yeah, something's different down there. The system is such that we don't really need to worry too much about using this stuff, in my opinion. Okay, so I think this is orange right here. That is orange, okay. And it looks like we have red and yellow right next to it, and I actually was thinking that that would be the stuff that looks the best. You know, this was whiter than I thought. Did they change the color of that? Because it used to look basically skin-toned. They might have. Thinking of something else. No worries. Okay, so we have yellow and red yellow make orange. So this concept actually would work pretty good. It's also something that we can dig out in plethora. So I think I'm going to try to toy with that idea of using these three colors right here in the tunnel and alternating them somehow. And oh, okay, I see what happened. I just need to drop down again. That is weird. That is very weird. Utilize these three colors and figure out some way to make this pattern work for us. So I'm just going to continue on with this, grab a whole bunch of this stuff, and we'll bring it over to the nether hub area and see what we can come up with for a pattern. So I've got basic layout of what we're going to be doing, and throughout this here, I got the rooms finished. You saw that going on. I've got a hallway design figured out. I am going with the orange, yellow, and red. And I am working currently on the ceiling concept. I think the ceiling will just end up being the same color as anything else that is in the area. But what I want to try to do is create a situation where we can utilize the light as best as possible with just one location. I think something like this is going to be what works out the best for us here. I'm going to go ahead and just pop two up here as well, and here as well. See if I can grab those here. Oh, I just sealed it off. That ain't what I want. It's going to be easier to just pull this out, I think. I don't want to have to use too much to get the idea across that I'm looking for here, but I like the idea of being able to utilize one light source for multiple locations. So if I can figure out how to do this correctly, I should get quite a bit of lighting out of this one thing here. Pull that out. And we've got that, and I put that like that. I can still see those, so I'm going to go ahead and pull those out as well. So I'm going to end up using them a little bit more than I would like to, but I hope that the overall effect will be pretty cool. Now, there is a bit of concern if this is a little bit too high or not, but we'll see here. So I cannot see at all. I cannot see the yeah, we're good there. Got two locations that the light is coming out of. It seems to brighten it up quite a bit just with that. So if I do that on both sides of this, kind of just mirror what's going on over here, it looks like it would be the same thing. And we should have ourselves a light setup that will make a much cheerier environment here in the Nether, because you know that's what we're always going for, is cheery. It's starting to sound like a cheerleader now, I tell you what. Okay, I need to pop that out, that, that. These guys, it is a lot. It is a lot. That's alright. We're going to be doing it with whatever color we're using. It shouldn't cause too much of a problem. And then I got to take those guys out as well because they were just barely visible. And is enough to distract. I don't mind seeing the pumpkin itself too much, but the nether quartz just is ugly. It's an ugly block. That's all there is to it. So this, and voila, we get nothing from that. We've got 4 locations of light coming out of them. It does seem to have brightened it up quite a bit. If you look over here, see the light difference from there to there. I think that'll work for us. That's not bad at all. 1 pumpkin hidden up there, get that much light out of it. I like it. I could change the location to being this one that shows the light. Allow for more of a wrap, but I'm okay with having the multiple holes like that. It's not too distracting, and it fits in with whatever color you're working on. So this next section would be the red section. We'd just do the same thing, follow the same pattern, but use red. As you can see, we also wrapped across the corners like this with the regular stone. Kind of give it a finished off look and make everything more textured or 3D like instead of being flat. Always creates more interest if you can have things sticking out. We already have a bit of interest built in just simply because we're on the diagonal for the whole thing. I do intend on putting a railway in here though, and more on that later and why that's going to change up exactly how you see this. But trust me, it's going to change things considerably and break this up a little bit more even still. But as you can see, I just got a basic layout going through here like so, just try to get the feels for how everything's going to work. I'm going to alternate orange, yellow, orange, red, orange, yellow, orange, red, always putting orange in between the yellow and red so that way you have the colors next to each other that create the color. I thought that was a good way to go with it. I do like the feel that it gets with having these different colors, and clay blocks in general are just good looking. Creating quite a bit of atmosphere in here. A nice, very tall ceiling, so you're going to have a good, open feel as you're going through the tunnel, either on a horse or on a rail cart. Won't have to worry about hitting your head. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3.5 tall, and if you notice the gap between here, it makes a 3x3 square at any location, which means this is not open to a 4x4 area. So even if there was an issue with some kind of gas spawnage on half slabs, I do not have to worry about that happening. Again, I haven't looked up to see what they can or cannot spawn on. I just want to make sure that it's just not possible, period. We also have these half slabs implemented in, and it's going to be throughout, so that will take down even more so the chance of zombie pigmen spawning in the area. It basically got, a few blocks here and there. These blocks, the blocks on the edge there, and then the blocks on this ledge for that to actually spawn on. And aside from that, they won't spawn at all. Should keep it down enough that we don't have issues with them getting in the way or interfering with the rail cart as we continue on with this. But that is going to call it for this episode. I hope you guys like what you're seeing. I'm really enjoying this project, and I don't know how much I'm going to get done off of camera and how long it's going to take me, but I do want to continue on with this and hopefully get at least this all laid out, that you've already seen how it's working and stuff off camera through time. It'll just depend on how many projects we have to work on here and there when we get back to this, as I can create a situation that you will not be sitting here watching me do the same thing for multiple episodes. Pretty important, not only for your sake but also for mine, to have something new and exciting to show to you. So I'm going to continue on thinking of new things to add to our area in the overworld, and we will see you in the next episode. As usual, folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget that like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.